Yeah, we have Mikey coming late, and we have Nick missing this week. But we also
So
have Cameron, a new player.
I,
Oh, sorry.
Not sure what that laugh was about, but welcome, Cameron.
Hello.
Oh
you
no.
playing a character? Is that what the evil laugh was for?
Oh, that was me evil laughing, not
Oh, that
him.
was
Oh, sorry.
Oswin. That's why I was confused. I was
Oh.
talking about Cameron. Why is Oswin evil laughing? He's up to no
For
good.
entertainment purposes
Just
only.
follow up to that. If your player character is evil, does that mean all laughs are evil laughs?
Yeah, that's going to be the new policy.
I can neither confirm or deny.
I don't think
And if that
anyone.
government statement is not evil,
Do we have any evil people in this group? I'm not even sure. Keep it to yourselves. Let it remain a mystery.
don't screw over the party, and that's it.
I
Be
think
evil, be not evil. Don't screw over party.
Mikey's character is a bit sus, but everyone else is mostly good.
He goes through changes though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Sus is not evil, but I think most of us. Go ahead, Nate. I'll stop interrupting you.
Sorry.
But
I just want to say,
yeah, sorry for interrupting you.
I just wanted to say that I just got a new job recently, so that may affect my D&D schedule.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm just.
Hopefully, it pays more.
Oh yeah, it pays more.
Good.
But
Are you a state employee now?
It's the easiest way to get a raise. Just get a new job.
no, I'm still
You're
trying to wait
not?
till I move to Panama before that happens. But yeah. So I work.
I assume you mean Panama City.
Yeah.
So are you talking like missing more games, or are you talking like you
Well-
might have to switch games?
It's more like I'm going to be working 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. So it cuts into our time. However, if the post isn't busy, I might be able to just get away with playing on shift, like I have done before in the past. So,
Oh, I
just have
guess I guess 9 p.m. for you is like 6 for us,
well,
or for me. So yeah,
it's rough.
Which time zone, Nate?
I'm in Central.
Ah, thank you.
okay, so it's 2 hours ahead. Yeah, so that would be like 7, which would be kind of in the middle of the game. Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, like I said, hopefully the post isn't too busy and I can just play, when I get to work. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, whatever works, we shall soldier on. Okay. So yeah, we have Cameron. Welcome, Cameron.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll probably introduce you to all the different characters once we're in game. But let me add you to the rotation here. Was Dewdrop this week for scribing? So I'll put. How do you spell your character's name? Krurby, Krurbi.
Kookaburra set in a gumdrop tree. Sorry.
Okay, got you in there. Oh, and so to display as your character in the chat tab in Roll20, there's a drop down. You want to choose the second instance of your character's name, and that'll be your character. Right now you're displaying as your account.
Okay.
I don't know if you see your picture as like a green splotch, but you can actually display as your character's picture on the screen there. So
I'm only seeing one instance of my character.
So there should be a second one. The first one is your account, and the second one is your character sheet, your actual character. It might be down a bit. You might have to go down to like, because I think it's alphabetical order. See, now I'm displaying as you. Do you have it set so you can see your character portraits on the Roll20?
No idea. Where's that setting at, good sir?
So I guess at the bottom left of the screen, do you see like DM Raven, Beans,
Yep.
Oswin, and do you see their pictures?
I don't see Oswin's, and I see that I have the green and white design
Yeah.
and Twitch.
I don't know where Oswin's went, but yeah, if you so yeah, that's what I was saying. If you go to that second instance of your character name, that should put your character portrait up there. In that drop down on chat. There should be two. If there's not two, I'll be very confused. So you only see the one Bari?
Crewberry. And then
Crewberry?
he goes by Barry to make it easy.
Barry?
So if you need guidance on how to do it, I posted the screen captures in the Discord main chat. Just to get the drop down thingy, it's move it over so you push the chat button on the right hand side, and then below the chat button is where he's talking about seeing the second listing your name. Like on mine, it says it's highlighted spell 10-foot circle instead of the Oswin. That's why it disappeared. Does that make sense?
Yes. Let's see.
And then
All right, there you
There
go.
we go.
for the late, he likes having our perception also with the name. That's why you have numbers.
Yeah,
You
so
can-
the other thing, I was about to say, if you go to the cog, there is a one of the drop downs is personalization and display, where you can kind of change your display name. So if you could put your passive perception and your passive insight in parentheses, this way if I need to know those, I can just look at your name without having to say like, what's your passive insight? Or like bring up your
Sure.
character sheet.
And so following that, I did the screen captures of where to find it. So it'd be the cog, audio, video, and then switch over to video, and it'll display the names like he was just talking about.
Yeah, if you know how to get your passive insight and perception.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, all right, great, excellent. Oh, you have a good insight.
Yes.
Sorry,
Finally,
insight
someone
or investigation?
Perception.
Insight. So
insight.
passive. Yeah,
Let me
passive.
change that real quick.
Passive perception, then passive insight is the second one. Passive investigation comes up, but not as often. Because like if someone's talking, you might be able to glean something, like with
Gotcha.
insight. So is 19 your passive investigation?
Yep. 16's passive insight.
Still better than everyone else. All right. So I think
I had to update mine. Thank you for that. When we did the mine was
Promotion?
not correct. Yeah, and I picked the feet.
All right. So Dewdrop has mentioned you would be up for scribe duty, if that's okay with you.
Who's you?
Dewdrop?
Yeah,
Did you not hear me?
Oh,
I hear you.
Okay. And it looks like Oswin, you were the previous scribe. Would you want to keep the story point you earned from that?
sure.
Okay. So if you could give us a recap of the events of last week.
We got into a fight. No, just kidding. We got back to the camp, our temporary camp, talked about going back to find Nick and Jimmy, or their bodies, and decided to get a good night's sleep just before searching, just to make sure. And somebody's using a chainsaw outside. I apologize for the noise. DM leveled us up to level 5. So before getting up and hanging out, we decided to take a brief moment in the cave for reasons. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Don't tell the tide, but we had 2 boxes to inspect that we found. Pulled out the items. Toadleaf was snug as a bug back in the camp. Juan helped both Beans and Oswin myself be able to play the puzzle right and get the items. And then while because we had equipment, I did a shift equipment, loaned my extra shield to Stilton. With Leaf passed out, we brought Shock, our caravan guide, down as an extra sword to help hunt. And my character definitely liked the idea of going to rescue because he couldn't rescue people in the past. We found no real evidence, so we had the very last hole that we could go down. We sent Beans' familiar, Stephen Hawking's the Hawk, down. Hawking's found that it was at least 80-foot hole, but there was a cave at the bottom, so we took 2 ropes, tied them together, did some pitons, went featherfall down, and then we started scouting with me in the front, because that's fun. Juan was able to find a weird section of the wall, and we determined that somebody used magic to seal it up. And we continued, found traces of dragged body, and I found flecks of metal that were similar to Jimmy's, so pretty sure his body got dragged this way. We continued on carefully, went north, and then it kind of turned south. Found a bunch of bones that had been gnawed upon, and the group was paying attention to finer details, found that one of the clothings on the former living creature that's now a skeleton had symbols of a druid sect. And then we played cautiously, moved on a little bit further, got introduced to a big, fugly, ugly monster, defended ourselves well against it, even though it kept making us sick. And then totally finally took it down with a... totally joined us just before meeting the fugly monster. It was big, too. And I'm not going to say it was Number Hulk because I don't know that. Then thankfully totally was able to catch up to us because he finally took it down with lightning bolt. And just as we were dusting ourselves, cleaning ourselves up, making sure everyone was okay, a woman was just walked out and just was about to speak.
All right.
And the MVP was Beans.
All right, thank you for that recap. So it is the 8th of fall. It's probably about 8:30 a.m. actually, because you have been traveling a bit. So this odd woman steps out of the wall here, almost as if she just kind of dug through it with some kind of magic, because it just closed behind her. And she would look towards the group and say, please, you have to help me get out of here. What do you want to do?
How did you get through the wall?
She says, I am part of the Deep Twilight Druid Grove. Or at least I was. I really don't want to be here anymore, though. He says, you were able to defeat one of those wandering Umber Hulks. They often plague my people as they are really hard to get under control. Could you please, there's been a distraction because of the attack. Could you please get me out of here?
Okay.
This is going to be my only chance. He says, you don't understand. I don't want to be down here with them anymore. I just want to go up to the surface.
We don't understand, but we may be able to help you if you are able to help us.
She says, I'll do anything you want. How can I help?
How much time do we have?
She says, well...
Should we move away from here immediately?
Let me check something really quick. Sorry.
I didn't realize I was muffled. Is this any better?
No, you're fine. I'm just
Cool.
looking at something real quick. Alright. So that's what she looks like, just FYI. She seems like she's kind of young, probably in her early to mid-20s, dressed in what look like druid garbs with all these old symbols on them. And just FYI, you said Barry is how you wanted your name to be pronounced?
Yes, please.
Give me a stealth check real quick. Okay. So Oswin, your passive is 19, right?
Yep.
Alright, so as you are talking to this woman, you would hear something behind you. Turning around, you would see a figure there creeping in the shadows. Looks like kind of watching what's going on here. What would you look like to them, Barry?
So you'd see a deep gnome, kind of skinny, about 3'7". Kind of a slate gray skin. Kind of hard to see under his hood, but he's got kind of a dark red hair, but it's a little faded. And you notice what really stands out though is that he's got almost sparkly silver eyes. Dressed in studded leather armor. That seems to be geared pretty light.
All right, so yeah, you would notice him kind of sneaking through the shadows over there. And I'll say, actually, what's your passive perception? 10. Well, are you gonna say anything?
I just typed it up. Well, it's like, hey, Beans, and points calmly to the way we came down.
Alright, so you all, I assume at this point, would turn around to see this odd individual there.
Yes.
So let's do some quick descriptions. So the first one you would see over here is a figure. I guess you might not be flying at this point just because you aren't, constantly flying. But it looks like almost like a I guess a halfling, but with wings. And you said you don't have knowledge nature, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what would you look like to him, Toadleaf?
Toadleaf has kind of purplish skin. He's pretty tiny at 2 foot tall. He has long pointy ears and long green hair, and then greenish eyes. And then he's adorned in gold, decorative, pauldrons and necklaces, and he's wearing green robes.
Yeah, he also looks kind of wounded, like something
I
may
mean,
have scratched him up pretty bad. What about Beans? What would you look like to him?
Beans is a gnome, quite young. He's a child, but he's clad in sturdy, well-traveled coat. His pockets are bulging with scrolls and arcane trinkets. It's kind of earth-toned and rough, which kind of speak to the many journeys that Beans has been on. Around his neck, he has an oversized charm that is kind of formed or made of a silver-like metal, and the charm seems somewhat magical, but pulses with a soft light. Floating beside him is a large ornate quill that's constantly looks like it's writing in the air. And floating near that is a book you might assume a spell book. It appears ancient. Its leather cover is etched with arcane symbols and worn smooth from countless years of use. The pages are filled with random maps and recipes and other things. It flutters randomly. As
I
if
don't
in
know.
a
I don't know if he'd know what's in your book right now.
Cool. Yeah. Well, it flutters, but it flutters in the air. And then he has a component pouch on his belt. And I think that's about it.
Although, do
Yeah.
you have Arcana training by chance, Barry?
I believe so. Let me double check that though.
So if you do, Arcana might tell you something about beans.
I am not proficient.
All right, so you seems like some kind of magic user, but that's all you get from him. What about Oswin?
You see a big, furry guy with black fur and splint mail armor whose back's currently towards you because he's keeping an eye on the new woman below, but he's got his ears aimed at you, and he seems very sure of himself and taking a defensive militaristic posture.
All right, kind of on guard from you. So as you are spotted over there, the woman here is going to kind of look over, surprised as she sees you now, and starts chanting. A bunch of vines are going to suddenly break forth from the floor, trying to grab at you as she casts Entangle.
Oh, could I counterspell that? Oh,
At
shit,
who?
no. That's just kidding. That's too late.
And
I'll just throw my hands. And
Tangle
go, whoa, no, not necessary. Whoa, ow.
So
Could we not?
you are caught a little off guard by this, but let's see. So I need a strength saving throw.
Well, that's gonna go great.
Lou,
Yes.
the spell I cast earlier was healing cure wounds on Shock. I used my homunculus servant to deliver it, so he's got 12 hit points back.
All right, so he's like probably down, leaning up against the wall. All right, so drawing from some kind of inner well of strength, you just burst forth from these vines as they grab you. Everyone kind of looks impressed as they did not see that coming. Quickly, I assume, jumping out of the vines before they can grab you again. She kind of looks again. She says, "Oh, my apologies. I thought you were someone else."
Yeah, I've got one of those deep gnome faces.
She nods. She says, "There's one like you within my tribe, Snurf Nivlin." Anyway, yes.
Are we leaving?
Can you
leave? Are we leaving?
She
Beans,
says,
Toad leaf, Shock, we could leave.
She says, "If you can get me out of here, we should leave before my grove realizes I'm missing."
And do you have issues with
I'm getting some background noise.
tide?
She says, I don't know. What do you mean, tide?
We're going through the iron tide to get out. We go up to them
She says,
to get out. Will you endanger us by being with us if we take you through their encampment?
She says, the mercenaries, the ones who have set camp within the ruins?
Yep.
Well, my people are certainly angered by their presence, but if you'll get me out of here, I have no quarrel with them.
I think we should move swiftly. Toby, do you have any thoughts?
Do you know where any treasure is? I could use a bit of treasure to help you get out.
Does the
Well,
Umbra Hulk have anything? That's an Umbra Hulk, right? That's what you called that thing?
she says that is an Umber Hulk, yes. They are creatures that wander down here. Ancient beasts that we used to control, but some corruption has caused them to break free of said control. And nowadays they're just a hindrance to me and my grove. She says also, my apologies. My name is Aleka Vosh.
My name is Toad the Leaf. It is very nice to meet you.
She says, it's nice to meet you as well, Fairy.
Now, do you have any treasure? We could do a little trade.
I'm sorry, but my grove doesn't really allow much in the way of personal wealth. I don't have much I could give you.
How about information?
That I might be able to. She seems kind of nervous, and she says, though, I'd prefer if we did so on the move.
Let's, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say,
Toad.
Toad the Leaf looks at Beans and nods.
Barry, you said your name was, right?
Yeah. You guys are the magical miscreants, right?
I'm
You
going
bother
to
me
ask how you know that later, but do you have any thoughts? Should we get out of here now, or what do you think?
I just got here. Already not a fan. See a giant dead thing over there. Yeah, I'm good to leave.
Oh, it's dead. That's fine. It's when it's alive that it's a problem. Let's go.
You know, not
Take up the rear.
well versed, but it might have friends, and it's a lot bigger than I am.
Yes, but
That's what she said.
Aleka would say, wait, you don't know this person?
no. But if people are wanting,
know them as much as we know you.
I see.
Yes.
in fact, we know you better by a couple seconds.
She nods
Let's go.
and says, all right, well, let's get out of here. So are you going to try to collect essence from the Umber Hulk or just leave?
I'm fine, Luke.
And also, remember, you have an 80-foot chasm you had to drop down to get down here. How are you going to get back up?
That's easy.
We have rope placed.
Yeah, actually, that would make sense.
We
I believe
did have ropes in place. I don't know if they're there now, but
yeah,
they
that
were
would
there when
probably.
I came down.
Yeah, I was going to say Barry probably used them to get down. All right, so you are backing off a bit.
So while we're moving, I'd ask Barry. And then, what you introduced your name? How'd you introduce yourself,
Yeah, Barry.
Barry? So Toadleaf would say to Barry, "So what are you doing down here? Are you looking for treasure too?"
I'm actually looking for you guys. I was sent from I believe you guys have heard of Cithril.
Oh, her. I'm not really a fan of her.
yes, heard of her.
Okay, yeah, I'm part of the Blood Hand. We're trying to work together, and you guys.
Yep. Okay.
It looked like you were lacking a distinct quickness of hands that I might be able to provide.
Excellent. That's good enough information. Let's go, go, go. No offense. I just don't know either of you well, so private conversations are probably happening privately.
All right, so Shock would nod. There's another person with them. He would say, well, it's good to meet you, Barry. Another specialist definitely couldn't hurt. We've encountered quite a bit of resistance down here. My name is Shock. I'm a friend of the group's.
He's a good guy.
Just to give you
Nice
an
to
idea
meet
of
you.
what he looks like.
But I think I agree with our previous Oswin. Was it? We probably have these conversations upstairs.
Yep.
He nods. So you get to the rope and begin climbing up the fairly deep chasm that you all came down here to get this low. So this will lead up to a new area. Which actually you probably would, well, following them in here, you'd probably have a pretty good idea of what it looks like. So let's do a quick walkthrough just so you can get the map, because I don't think you technically have it yet. So hang on, let me drag your characters out. So you get to the top of this chasm here. Where's the rest of you? And Juan's not here, so it'd be the four of you. Shock is kind of following in the background. He would say, what about our mechanical friend? He whispers,
Come back.
if
We might be able to figure out if Jimmy is down there through talking with our new friend Barry or our Alika.
so he would nod, kind of looking over to Aleka.
Safety is our priority here.
And maybe whisper, well, if the Grove took Jimmy, and I'm not saying we should do this, but this Aleka could be maybe a way we could get him back. If she's trying to escape, I know it sounds a little harsh, but I mean,
Let us not talk in. Let us work with the facts before we start speculating about what we can and cannot do. We have much information to figure out, Shock.
he just nods. He says, just hope Jimmy's okay.
As we all do.
So go ahead and travel through the area, just so your new person can get an idea of what the caves look like, since he hasn't been through here yet. And you should be able to follow them. Maybe like just get an idea of how the token moves.
Don't step on the holes. Or
Well,
cut off the,
if you want to go over the holes, it's fine. Like, I'll just assume it's difficult terrain. I'll assume no one's jumping in the holes.
Just joking, boss.
Were you able to find your token, Cameron?
Can I get light?
Yeah,
sure.
but sure isn't moving because, reasons.
Oh, weird.
Oh no.
Can you not click on it?
Nope. I am unable to interact. Let me try this.
Let me check something.
Aha, success.
Oh, you got it? All right. Okay. All right, yeah, I just want to make sure you can move it. All right, so they are kind of moving through this cavern. It looks like there's a couple of these weird runes that were scratched out on the wall. They look like some kind of magic, but just a quick glance at them, you're not sure what exactly they do. Whatever they are, they seem to have been disabled.
They hurt.
Yeah, that was you guys.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Made it imagine it made it a lot easier to get through here.
Yep. How about we wait at the... Instead of exiting, let's just wait at the top like we've done before.
Alright. Yeah, beyond the Iron Tide soldiers are guarding the entryway to this place.
So Toadleaf whispers to Beans. Beans, if he works for that main lady, how did he get down here?
That's a good question. He must have been following us for some time.
That's probably not good. We should probably watch him just in case.
And you're saying this out loud, right?
No, I'm whispering to Beans.
Oh, you're whispering? Okay.
I don't disagree. So
Now-
we're chilling here? Yeah.
Now,
Are
you
we
guys are in good relations with the Blood Hand, right? I have you guys as allies. Or are you just suspicious of Cithril? I just want to make sure I'm not getting this wrong.
We are allies, but both her and Blackwater both have said don't work with the other guy.
Yeah.
And we haven't stopped working with either party yet. We haven't gone really hardcore in working with them.
Gotcha.
So we're kind of at that dancing at a fine place right in between.
So I'll say, Barry, with your passive insight, you get the feeling they're a little bit nervous about you. I don't know if you want to say anything, but
I will, just go with what Oswin said earlier and kind of in the back of my head, just be like, yeah, we can sort this out, not in a cave.
yeah. So you guys heading out of here?
Go ahead, Nate.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, if everybody else agrees.
I was going to ask if we should get more details from our new druid friend. First.
Lekka, is this a place safe out of the ears of your grove where we can talk?
She says, no, we should probably head up into the old mine shaft. Assuming that your Iron Tide allies won't just cut me down. I know some of my people have killed some of their people.
We don't need to inform them of that detail at this point.
Is she wearing things that look like specifically screaming she's a Twilight Druid or whatever it was?
Twilight Deep.
Deep, thank you.
So she looks she has a bunch of symbols on. Do any of you have knowledge nature?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you have knowledge nature, give me a roll. Let's see what you know. 23. So you with your knowledge, you recognize some of the symbols marking her as a follower of Gaian, Mother Gaian, which is what many of the druids worship, is just the world. But to the lay person, she would just look like some kind of magic user, probably, with strange robes and markings. You do recognize something weird about the symbols on her garb, though. From what you know, most of the druids, a specific symbol on their garbs put them as like worshippers of the wood, or like some very rare ones like in watery areas or mountains. Hers mark her as subterranean, which you probably have never seen or heard of before. Though it makes sense, for where you met her. You didn't think druids generally had groves underground, though. So what do you want to do?
I would say to her, a sister of Palor, friends, we should heed her advice and maybe check on Gurglo. Make sure he's doing okay up there and has plenty to eat.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
So you leave the cave, heading back out into into the mine shaft above. Going up the ramp, you would, I assume, tell the hobgoblins to move the boulder aside.
Yeah.
And you would be back out in your camp.
I start telling Barry all about Gurglo. So you would get a base information. Gurglo is a big ogre. And then he would say a whole bunch of other stuff about him. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So there are a couple of people up here with the group's camp. You would also see a bunch of the Iron Tide guys who you kind of snuck past to get down here in the first place. They don't take much note of you, just assuming you're someone who went down with the group. Let's see. So yeah, you return to the area near the boulder, kind of on the other side of it, where your people are all camped out. What do you want to do? At this point, Aleka would say, if it's okay, can I leave the cave and head outside?
Just before you head out, you guys were looking for a Jerry, a Jimmy?
Yes, where's the... Thank you, Barry. Jerry Barry? Sorry. Miss, you said you might be able to give us some information about where our metallic friend Jimmy got taken to?
She says, Jimmy, that's the Warforged, right?
Sure.
She says, well, they found him at the bottom of the pit, and they had dragged him away I think it was yesterday. I believe they have him somewhere within our grove, but I didn't really pay much attention. I kind of used your guys' attack on several of the creatures as a distraction to escape. I didn't really look into what they were doing with Jimmy or what was going on.
What's so bad about your sect or whatever it's called that makes you want to leave them?
I'm just tired of living underground. My mother
Is she
left a
not-
long
I
time
get
ago, and I just want to live somewhere else.
Does she look human?
She.
I know you showed the picture. I just didn't know.
What is your passive perception?
19.
Okay. She looks human. Something looks a little off about her, though.
Okay.
Is there a chance I could use passive insight or roll insight to see if do I believe what she's saying, that she just wanted to not live underground?
Yeah. So give me an insight check.
Oof.
All right. Well, so you don't get much from your active insight, but your passive insight, you don't think she's lying. She doesn't come off like she's trying to trick you or the group or anything.
Okay.
So yeah, you'd probably believe her, at least for now. But she says, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but unfortunately, I don't know much about your friend. She says, you all have been the talk of my grove. You've killed a bunch of our Ankhegs and Boule followers.
Oh, is that what you call this?
Defended ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Says, well, you entered sacred ground just like these hobgoblins did. And she kind of keeps her voice low so the guards there don't hear her. She says, we've been defending this area for a long time. She says, actually, we've been defending the above ground areas too, but our elder told us to stay below, hoping that this band of warriors would just pass, these soldiers who have kind of defiled our ruins and stolen from us. We assumed you were with them, though it seems like you're allies, but maybe not directly with them.
We've just met them recently ourselves. They haven't been hostile to us, so we have not returned hostilities.
I see. Well, my people certainly don't like the presence of outsiders here. We've lived on these lands for hundreds of years.
That's good and all, but what signs did you have up was it written in languages that people could understand, or was it just magical scat markings or whatever it's called?
She says, well, the druids don't generally leave too many signs, as such things could draw outsiders in to try to steal from us or plunder our natural resources. We've mostly just remained hidden by not being involved with matters of the empire.
So right there, that sounds like there's a miscommunication going on.
She says,
Yeah.
well,
In two powerful groups.
maybe. My elder isn't really one to talk to people unless he has to. Give me an active insight on that. Anyone can roll this.
Beans.
Beans is like playing with his book. He's not even paying attention. DC is 15 on this, by the way, in case anyone wants to do a thing. Alright. So, I'll say with your passive, Barry, you definitely get the feeling she doesn't like her elder. Though you're not sure exactly, the relationship there.
Yeah. Okay.
So she would say, Yeah, I can't really do much about your friend, but if it's okay, I would like to leave now. I want to get as far away from this place as possible.
Just real quick, you kind of managed to get away from your grove. Is there a chance we could kind of reverse engineer the way you came out to get us in?
She says, well, I have
Or-
the ability... most in my grove have the ability to meld through stone and dirt. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can do such things.
I sure can. Be nice.
Why don't before you go? There's no reason to go. How about you hang out at our camp for a little bit, so we can figure out how to best support each other. I don't imagine you have many supplies or many places to go at this point.
Give me a persuasion. So, and also give me...
Totally would add on and he would say, we have plenty of snacks.
Yes.
So you might be a little suspicious again, Barry, again with your insight. You feel like if she could just meld through earth and stone, like she probably should have been able to just leave without being noticed. It seems odd that she's traveling through the caves. Because, yeah, like she could just step into a wall and dig up to the surface. Or at least you assume. You're not sure how her power works. But as for your persuasion, Beans, she seems hesitant. But she says, well, I mean, I do owe you all. If you wish me to stay for now, I can. I just worry that the Elder will find out where I am, and he will not be happy. Druids are forbidden to leave the grove. What did I say their name was? I wrote it down. Hang on. Twilight Deep, I think. Yeah. Just make sure I'm getting that right.
Touchdown, TD.
Would say to her, he'd say, you're free to leave at any time. You're not a slave or trapped here.
I followed up with but we just really appreciate it if we could, pick your brain.
Exactly. We just need to be able to see what happened to Jimmy and make sure things are going to be all right.
Yes. And, again, we want to make sure that you are safe. There is a dangerous land outside of here, and we don't seem to be carrying much in terms of survival equipment.
She says, oh, I'm perfectly adept at surviving in nature, trust me. Alright, so it's Twilight Deep. Also, I'll say with your passive insight, you've gleaned a few of her traits, which I added to her sheet there if you want to look at them.
Ooh.
But she nods and says, like I said, I'll stay with you for now. I just hope my elder doesn't figure out where I am. And she just kind of nervously sits down in the camp. And just in case, I'm not going to describe everyone because there's a couple of people at the camp there. If you go into, this is for Barry. If you go into character info, I'm going to move your character sheet there as well. There's NPC combat allies and background tab, the two tabs in the camp tab. You can see kind of the other people in the camp. Gurgle is not there right now. The ogre is outside because the Irontide did not want an ogre running around their base. But Melody, Shock, and Alira are with the group, kind of resting in the camp. Along with a couple other people.
Gurglo is still a very good boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Dewdrop loves his ogre.
Oh my god.
All right. So anyway, yeah. So just a little information on who the other NPCs are. There are some other people like laborers and guards, but they seem less like they want to talk. They're just kind of hanging out. Of course, they probably will talk if you talk to them. But yeah, what do you all want to do? Aleka has agreed to stay for now. I'll add her to the camp background.
Aleka is. Did you mention our friend Jimmy before? He's no longer alive.
She shrugs. She says, "I don't know. I just know they dragged him off."
Who is this grove? I'm not familiar with them. Yeah, they control this, or their grove is in this region, and they seem to not like outsiders.
Well,
is there other information we should know?
She says, "You speak of the Twilight Deep, my people?"
Yes.
Well, as I said, we've been here about 200 years or so. There is an ancient ruin deep below this place that emits powerful energies, some sort of necrotic energies, and our people have guarded it along with our pets. We use it to power many of our rituals, giving us energy to place defenses and strengthen our ties to the land.
And like, you've personally been here for 200 years?
She laughs. She says, "No, my grove has. I'm much younger." She says,
I was gonna say, you look great for 200.
"Give me a persuasion." Wait, how old is Barry?
About 100, 110.
Okay, he's a gnome. Putting on the Riz.
Let's
watch this awesome roll happen.
My God.
So yeah, she just kind of smiles and says, "Oh, well, thank you." Maybe blushing very slightly, but says, "Yeah, my mother used to live here, but she left when I was very young, and I wish to follow her and find out more about where she went and what happened to her."
That's unfortunate.
Toad Leaf would ask, "Do you think it's going to be okay without you living here anymore? You're not going to miss your home?"
Says I may a little, but I'm not saying I'll never come back, but our elder,
is he a bad man?
She kind of hesitates a little, and she says, "Well, he's not bad. Balavor is just difficult to deal with, and he wants what's best for us, but at the same time, he's very convinced that his way is the only right way, and it is oppressive to live under that."
I can understand that.
So I don't know. I just need time away. Maybe I'll come back someday. I don't know.
Well, can I ask you one more question?
Of course, yeah.
Was there a human man with the robot? Was he there?
Oh, I don't think so. We just found the Warforged at the bottom of the ravine, or the chasm.
Can I make an insight on that? Or?
Sure.
Okay. I think she's telling, but I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, you don't get the feeling that she's withholding or being, misdirecting.
All right.
I guess since you're leaving, are they gonna look for you?
He says, "Well, they might, but I'm hoping I can get far enough away that they won't bother to follow. Which is why I'm very hesitant to stay here. My people will, if I'm here, they'll try to get me to come back. As I said, it's forbidden for our people to leave, but they're not going to journey far to come after me. Their main duty is to the land and to the ruin that we're guarding deep below."
Well, since you don't come up here very much, there's actually a small town close by called the Chaur. There's
Oh.
some nice people there if you want to maybe go there.
Oh, maybe my mother went there. If it's close, well, thank you.
How
Go
long
ahead.
ago did she leave?
She left when I was young, so it's at least 20 years or so.
So like yesterday, wink.
Oh man. Give me another persuasion.
Um,
Putting on the Riz.
I didn't know we had the Rizzler here.
which is great because it's supposed to be terrible because my Riz is 8.
Oh,
It's like so yeah. Just says it very awkwardly, and everyone's like,
uh,
actually he's rolling pretty well.
oh.
So
Yeah, I guess
she once
think of it
again,
more like dad jokes.
yeah, she kind of laughs again. She says, "No, I'm not that young."
I just since you're on your way out, if you guys probably your people probably use magic. I figure I have an ability to kind of make it harder for people to magically track you. It doesn't cost me anything, but you seem like a nice enough person. So if you've got a minute or so, I can help you with that.
Are you trying to be deceptive or honest?
Honest,
Okay.
I'm above table. I'm gonna use my Svartherbind magic to cast non-detection on her, just to
That
so
might
she
be
can get
just for
away.
you if I read the character ability.
Oh, the deep gnome one. We could check that.
Oh, I didn't. I've never played a deep gnome before. I thought it was just you could cast it.
Well, let's take a look real quick. Let's see. Do you remember what ability gives you that?
Firth Neblin magic. Oh yeah, just as I can cast non-detection on myself. JK,
okay.
LOL. So let's just
No
roll
worries.
that whole line of thought back then.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So, yeah, I guess at this point, are you guys wanting to pass some time, or I guess what's the end goal?
I mean, so what I see is option one is we can go back down and talk with the Druid Grove to figure out what's going on. We can look elsewhere for Nick's body, or so talk with the Druid Grove. The idea behind that would to get Jimmy's body back, right?
Totally says we should probably just take a short rest and go back down
Cool.
there and get the Jimmy.
Cool.
Could you give us better directions to find the center of your grove, or at least a place that we can access Jimmy? That since we don't have the ability to go through stone the way you do.
She says, well, the caves eventually lead down to our grove. The problem is those umber hulks are wandering the area. So if you don't have the ability to hide or move through the walls, you might have to face them.
Yes, and those are quite an issue.
What's a good trick on fighting them?
I'm a little tapped on high-level magic. We might have to be sneaky or wait tomorrow.
I mean, sneaky's right up my alley.
So she would say, well, the Umber Hulks. It's funny because they obviously you've seen how their eyes can create confusion and can make you forget what's going on. But they actually are very susceptible to the same types of magics. So anything that you can do to confuse and maybe even scare them will disable them, giving you enough time to flee or at least move past them. It's a little trick that we're taught, well, since we've lost control of them, that if you ever get cornered and you can't tunnel for some reason, to use something to scare them momentarily and just run away.
Cool. That's awesome. So illusions might work well. Can you tell us a little more about your camp? Would they be willing to give return Jimmy's body to us?
I'm unsure. They see the I think Iron Tide, as you put it. They see them as enemies, and most likely they'll be unhappy that you are here as well.
Do they have the strength to push the Iron Tide out?
No, we don't have the numbers of the soldiers up here, but we do have some strong druidic magic users. So
I would expect.
we definitely have the advantage down below, which is, I assume, why what's his name?
Why the leader of the Grove?
Yeah, well, she'd say why Balavor has kept us below, hoping to weather their intrusion for now. Our main goal is to protect the labs.
Labs. There's labs down here.
I believe in Dwarvish they were called the Alcavian Labs. It's where the necrotic energy pulses from, the one that kind of infuses us.
Necrotic energy, what?
She nods. Go ahead.
You have well, apparently they're labs, but we found a area of this cave system that seems to be leaking miasma, this necrotic energy, and we haven't had the opportunity to explore it yet. We were questioning whether we should even explore it or move on. But this is interesting information. What do you think about this necrotic energy, Barry?
You know, I gotta say, necrotic is easily like my least favorite type of magical energy.
Okay.
So if we can go around, that would be my go-to.
It seems if we end, there might be a way to end this necrotic energy.
Ooh.
Says, well,
explore the area, but yeah.
Well, there were two, and actually she kind of pauses and she says, I don't know if I should talk about the things that my Grove guards. I do appreciate you getting me out of there, but I still feel I owe it to them to not reveal our people's secrets.
So Toadleaf would kind of come up to her and smile and say, "You can hail us. We're only here to hail."
Give me a persuasion with disadvantage.
I'll help. And just because I don't know how, but my flirting seems to have not backfired terribly.
A 12. Let me see if I have something.
How are you gonna help? What are you gonna say, Barry?
In typical Barry fashion, he will not know what to say and just be like, "Oh, you know, I don't know if we need all the secrets, but like, I super don't want to die to the necrotic magic.
This
Anything that could not kill me would be great."
Is this an ability check? I know it's not. Is it?
Persuasion? Yeah, it's an ability check.
Okay, so I use magical guidance. I spend a sorcery point, and I'm gonna re-roll my persuasion.
Yeah, and just to let you know, the way I do the help action is basically you make the roll as well. So, like for example, for this, you would do persuasion, and he would do persuasion, and I'd use the higher roll. So you don't just give him advantage. But I will say I won't give disadvantage to if you want to make another persuasion check, since she kind of likes you. 10.
That is terrible. I would like to use my Psi bolstered knack on that.
All right, go ahead and link it, whatever ability you're using.
Do.
Oh no.
I mean, you do have a -1. That's actually an above average roll for you.
Yeah, but this seems important.
I don't know how I failed. I got +7, and I gave myself, decent odds there. I should have
How do I drag
Can't
something
get
from my
roasted on.
character street
Wait, I got
into the chat?
I got a thing for this.
Womp womp womp.
So
For
if you're
that
on
was
your
for you,
character
Nate.
sheet,
Yeah.
uh,
On my sheet.
if you put your mouse cursor over the thing on the right hand side of it, you'll see a word bubble like my magic tinkering. Yeah, that thing you just did.
Do you know what paragraph I'm looking at? Cybul Serdnak?
I'm pasting just the paragraph right now.
Okay. Add the skill or tool. What's your sonic energy die?
It's just let's see, I'm level 5. I want to say it's a D6.
All right, so go ahead and spend
Maybe
one of
it's a check.
those and give me a roll.
I hope it's a D8 now because I'm level 5.
All
Yeah,
right.
level 5 starts being cool for you. Level 9's the coolest, but
I know, I'm so excited to throw blades and teleport. Now comes the fun part.
So you need at least a 5. It's a 15 DC, I'll say.
And I hate to show my inexperience with this, but how do can I just roll a D8?
Yeah, so if you go to the left of the screen, there's a dice button. You click that, then you just click the D8.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. 6.
16. All right.
Yeah.
So
I will extend that.
Yeah, so she seems a little hesitant still, but she'll say, well, so as I said, my Druid Grove guards a ancient dwarven area that is marked as such, the Alcavian Laboratory. It's near another place my master has spoken of, that is where the necrotic energy comes from, which I assume is what you were speaking of, the prison. We don't know much about it, but our people are told to stay away from it. She says, it does help infuse us, though. It fuses the area around here and gives us more strength underground. It's one of the reasons why we can control the Boule and the Ankegs. And, well, previously we could control the Umberhulks as well.
So out of Toadleaf's pack, he pulls out the dark energy crystal that's wrapped in cloth, and says, "Do you maybe know anything about this?" And then when he says that, he opens it up and shows the dark energy crystal.
She pauses for a second. She says, no, what is it? Barry, you don't think she's telling the truth?
I was about to say, yeah, do I believe her?
No, you think she knows what it is. And you also think she's nervous seeing it for some reason.
Toadleaf, do you mind if I take a hold of that with the cloth?
Well, I do mind. It is a little bit of a weird item. There might be something evil about it.
So if I touch it, it should be fine, right?
I wouldn't
And
recommend it.
I'll pretend to reach for it and kind of slide a hand and see if she reacts like it's gonna kill me.
She...
Like if she winces or anything.
Give me a deception.
Sure.
So she looks a little nervous, but she doesn't say anything. Now let me ask, you guys also have that, what's it called? The red crystal, right? That you found down below? Or am I thinking of someone different?
It is in our bag of holding.
Okay, I thought it was. In fact, did I make note of that? I just want to make sure I did. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay. So yeah, she kind of calls your bluff, almost like she kind of senses you're messing with her. Maybe you look right at her as you're doing it or something.
I'll use my excellent 10 wisdom and 8 charisma. I'll just touch it and see if I die.
Oh my god.
So you touch the crystal and do not feel happy about that decision.
Yep.
You take 2 points of necrotic damage as your fingers wither a little from it. Like, ah.
Okay.
And she would
I will-
say, no, don't touch it.
Ouch! Ah, shit! Ah.
And then you take another point because Toadleaf pops her hand and says, "I told you not to do it."
He doesn't. I assume you don't actually slap him hard enough to deal 1 point of damage.
Oh, it's a joke. It's a
Oh,
joke.
okay.
No, I'll take it. I'm a man.
Just stabs you, pulls out his his shank. He's like, get off my crystal.
So I will say the only thing that Toadleaf knows about this crystal is that it has evil aura. That's it.
Who are you saying that to? Her?
He would say it to what's her name?
Aleka?
Yeah. He says I'll do a character. He says, the only thing I was able to figure out about the crystal is that it's a little evil. I'm trying to clear it or purify it.
She says, well, it seems like some kind of miasma coming off of it. It seems dangerous. And again, she seems like she doesn't want to say what she knows. Anyway, if I'm going to stay here a bit, do you all mind if I just kind of rest a while?
That seems like a wise idea. We were all just starting to prepare our second breakfast for the morning.
All right, so
You
she
guys do
kind of
second breakfast too. Sweet.
walks off to the side and puts her pack down as she lays on the floor.
It's the favorite meal of the day.
I could not agree with you more. Like sometimes I'll skip I'll just eat breakfast, but I'll say that I skipped first breakfast and just call it second breakfast.
There you go.
Okay. Why not just eat?
Oh, God.
Oswald says very
are we-
bluntly.
Are we doing spare was it free time activity today or no?
I think, so I want to explore somewhere, do something.
No, I agree.
Kind of above table, I guess. I don't know. Do we want to go back in and let her go? And
In character, Toadleaf says, "So we're going to rest and find Jimmy now."
That seems like a viable option. The other option is to see if she knows any way into the Alcavian labs that doesn't involve crossing these runes that keep blowing up.
Shock would say, wait, did you know what she was talking about? What are these labs?
The Orchard told us about an area in this cave that was spilling dark miasma. And I assume that based off of what she was describing with the dark energy, necrotic energy, and miasma, that is the same place that Orchard was asking us to check out.
Well, it sounded like that was the prison with the miasma, and she mentioned the lab separately. Though obviously I don't know much about this place.
Oh, that would make... Yeah, that's interesting. Osman, do you have any thoughts? I totally thought of trying to recover Jimmy and figure out where Nick went.
I'm getting frustrated like I was before. I thought we would be able to rescue some people, but it sounds like we're getting more and more other things piling up, making it more complex and difficult to actually just rescue.
Well, when they knew the risk, when they went in there, we told them not to go.
I know. This is just me being reminded of past experiences of not being able to rescue people. So this is where I'm coming from with this.
And Barry, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I feel almost fit as a fiddle, except for kind of these three fingers. So I figure let's go for it.
His withered finger.
Is the Wyvern that Orchard mentioned was.
I will need.
Explosives.
I I will need to rest up before I go, but yeah.
Cool. So do we go try to find Jimmy, who is seems to be with the druids, or try to find these labs, try to find Nick, or
Well, if
I think.
Jimmy is alive, we need to go rescue him. I don't know what happened to Nick.
Cool. Very awesome. You good with that?
I would think we probably want to find Nick first. I mean, it sounds like we know where the Warforged is, and like realistically, if they were gonna kill him, they would have done it already, and he's dead. So can't really rescue a corpse. Whereas we don't know what happened to the other guy yet, so maybe we want to focus there first.
That is a horrible, horrible way of looking at that. That is horrible.
Thank you.
So Austin, do you have any thoughts between going to try to find Nick versus rescuing Jimmy?
Well, what information do we have about Nick? We know where Jimmy went.
We
What
would need to try to trace Nick's tracks.
And Nick is in these ruins too, right?
The last I saw was to the cave, the rock, the cave that's the cavern entrance that's caved in with all the rocks just beyond the hole Jimmy went down. And then I lose tracks of them there. Because we got to either dig or have magic to get through.
Do we want to maybe ask our
Oh,
druidic friend if she could, just whoop-de-doo to the other side real quick and then come back, or?
Shock says, "Ooh, if we can convince her to, I don't think she's going to want to go back down there." And just to let you guys know, I added 2 more quests on for you. Search for Jimmy and look into the Alcavian labs, since you are now talking about that stuff. Okay. Assuming you want to do them, just put them there as reminders that they're possible.
Thank you.
But yeah, Shock would say, I mean, yeah, if someone can convince her to go back down, but that would, if they caught her again, like especially if they notice she's missing now, then she could be in trouble.
That's a good point. Yeah, and I just feel like I was starting to lose my already not very silver tongue.
Let us take
Shock
a short
laughs.
rest.
Well, you're kind of, this is in the middle of the rest.
Yeah.
All right, so I will pass time. If you want to be doing anything during this, let me know before I finish rolling dice.
Toad Leaf takes a short little nap, says, "Wake me up in 13 minutes.
Power nap.
Is there a way to because it's the start of my day, I haven't really done anything. Spend the entirety of this short rest to get advantage rolling persuasion and just try my best to convince our druidic friend to help.
I mean, you could go talk to her if you want. And remember, Beans, you have to wait till the end of the rest to do that.
Yeah, I know. I was just linking it to let you know that's what I would be doing.
And also, I do short rests as a resource. So you have 1 short rest per proficiency, which I think is 3 at this level. So you can choose whether or not you want to spend it once the hour passes. If you don't spend it, then you wouldn't benefit, but so you would just
I just won't spend mine, then I will spend the short rest conversing with
and actually, let's see, is your sheet set up? Oh, it looks like you do have short rest set up. Okay, yeah, this is all set up right. Excellent. All right, so you kind of go over to Aleka. She is sitting kind of off to the side. As you approach, she smiles at you and says, "Hey, Barry."
Hey, I just if you had some time? I know you want. You said you wanted to look for your mom.
She nods. She says, "Yeah, I never actually knew her. I grew up hearing stories about her from the other druids, and know that she was very much loved among our people. I just wish I knew why she left and what happened."
Is like your dad still down there, or was it like just her and she?
She says, "I actually never knew my dad. Apparently, my mom met someone on the surface, and they had a night together, and yeah, just nothing. That just didn't lead anywhere for them, and I was born from that, though."
It's can't say that's too uncommon of a story. But I'm sorry to hear that your mom kind of left.
Well, I'm sure once I find her, I can figure out more about what happened and maybe ask about my father.
Yeah, then he'll trail off because he doesn't have any idea what to do with that.
Totally, yeah, totally would fly up and say, "My father, I never knew, but I had another one who was a god. He was kind of cool."
Give me a persuasion.
Okay. Let's see. Persuasion.
So she would say, God. Wow. Is this a god I would know of?
Do you know who Arasail is? Being a druid, she might.
She says, my people have only worshipped Mother Gaian. No, I've never heard of Oracel. Is that like Palor? One of the gods worshipped by the Empire citizens?
No, he is a god of the Fae. God of forests.
Oh, yeah, you're a fairy. That would make sense. Do you come from the Feywild?
Well, yes, of course.
Oh. Huh. I've never met someone from the Fae. I've heard stories,
That's
though.
dope.
She says, well, yeah, no, my family is, like I said, nothing anywhere that special. My mother is just a druid of our grove, and my father, well, I don't know much about him.
He would say, "Well, don't put yourself down. We're all special in our own very special way." And then flies away.
All right, so she just says, well, that's a nice way of thinking about it, and just kind of sits back again.
Maybe we'll twiddle his thumbs.
Yeah, he's not used to this whole, like, being charming thing. So is there anything...
He's real used to trying.
Yeah, not too much experience succeeding at it.
Exactly.
Is there anything else you're going to say to her during the short rest?
I thought, I'll do the classic, like, pat on the shoulder and kind of just walk off awkwardly.
Awkwardly walk off. All right. So the short rest would pass without issue.
Yeah.
Go ahead and spend your short rest if you want to benefit from it. And I'll say it is now 10 a.m. in the morning. So it's about a half hour to get back up here. And then another hour for the rest. Everyone, I assume, is feeling a little bit better. And yeah, what do you want to do?
So, friends, it sounds like Jimmy is at worst already passed. We know not of where Nick is. Might we try to find where Nick is and see if he is still alive? And if Jimmy is not already passed and he's in the hands of this druidic magic, which I know they are very capable healers.
Tudleaf says, "I think that is probably a good idea. See, Beans is so smart.
Indeed.
Do you have a place where you wish to look for Nick, then, Beans? Shock would say. Where do you think he's gone if he didn't go down the hole?
According to Aleka, it seems he did not follow Jimmy down into the hole. So my first place to look would be beyond the hole. What is the next pathway? Beyond the hole.
Aleka would kind of chime in. She says, "The cave-in?"
Yes.
Oh, that leads towards the labs. If he went that way, he is in grave danger. The labs have magical defenses. We do not approach them.
Then what do you guys think? Face grave danger. See if Nick recover Nick, and then yeah. That's
How long has it been since the cave-in?
Oh, well, I mean, that cave-in was there from before we even came to this place. I mean, we could get to the labs because of our ability to travel through dirt and stone, but we've left the cave-in as sort of a natural defense against intruders. Does your friend have a way he could have gotten past it?
No, he'd probably just die.
She
I
kind of
believe
looks
he had
confused.
magic abilities to teleport.
Oh,
So
well.
the cave-in was not very far.
No, it's, I mean, it's like she says it's about a 20-foot area that's caved in. If he could teleport past there, then yeah, he may have approached the door, which could have killed him if he wasn't careful. We actually lost one of our people to it when we first arrived, or at least so Balavor says.
How deep in these ruins is that cave-in? I don't remember seeing it, or did I?
With
It
a
was
10,
just past that hole we came up.
yeah, so when you came up the hole, you probably noticed to the north there was another small cave, but you didn't look close enough to see anything there.
Okay.
But yeah, you assume that's where she meant when she said if you went past the hole.
And Aleka, is your move stone, is that a one-person carpet ride, or can you take a passenger?
She would nod. She says it's just one. It's dangerous to use for more than short bursts, which is why we tend to go from cave to cave with it instead of just continually through. More than 20 feet, the concentration becomes excruciating, and to lose concentration in the stone is death. Small areas like 5-foot or 10-foot areas to move through are easy, but long stretches, not something we can do.
If we could convince the Iron Tide to let Gurglow through, he could probably clear the rebel.
That's actually a good idea. I mean, not actually. It is a really good idea.
I was about to say, I have good ideas.
You do.
Shock rolls his eyes.
I don't know what a blurg is, but I'm excited to watch it happen.
This is ogre.
Yes, please.
The problem lies in we currently are at a positive status with the tide and a neutral to negative status with the Twilight
Deep, yeah.
No, that my in character. I knew that in character he was doing that. So what will this cause more issues with us since they were using it as a defense?
It's likely if you try to burrow through, they will send people to stop you, Aleka says.
I'm not a fan of harming people, but I will defend myself. And that is normally to the death.
She says, well, the druids would have the terrain advantage, especially if they brought their pets.
I have ungodly magic that I will use if I have to.
She just nods and says, I mean, I would prefer no one die as well. But
in the spirit of no one dying, is there a chance we could convince you to just trot to the other side and see if our friend is there.
Give me a persuasion.
Cool.
No disadvantage because she kind of likes your dad jokes.
And then
But she
just to help
seems very hesitant.
you out, Toad Leaf says, "Pretty please."
That's not going to help that much.
Give me disadvantage.
Fine, make a roll at disadvantage.
Oh,
Wah wah. And you do start with inspiration, so if you want to use it, you'd have advantage on the roll.
oh yeah.
That's
Except for Toadleaf.
Well, I was talking about Barry.
I'm
No,
teasing.
no, not me.
Plus,
yeah.
Toadleaf already has disadvantage, so that would just be a wash for him. But it would be too late if he.
Yeah, that's. Well, yep, very persuasive.
Yeah, he'll or she'll say, I don't really want to go back down there. I'm sorry. I worry that they detect me and someone would try to stop me from coming
Yeah.
back up.
I get that. Please stay with our camp, though.
What
She-
if our wonderful group of friends protects you? I know I can communicate with you through stone, up to a mile. So like if anything happens, we could back you up.
If anything happens, we're on the other side of stone.
Give me a persuasion with advantage. Barry.
Okay. Check.
I mean, if you just roll the two numbers, I'll take the higher one. Oof.
Wow.
so-
Even worse.
Yeah.
This is the charisma I'm used to.
Oh, that's rough.
So she would say, yeah, as your friend said, if I am caught on the other side of the stone, there's no way you could help me. Yeah, I think I'd rather just stay in camp if that's all the same to you.
Toadleaf says, "It is not to worry. Let me handle this." And then he walks over to the guards who are guarding the area.
Two hobgoblins, yeah.
Owens. He says, "Do you want to make some money?
Huh? Doing what?
Just a little bit of digging."
He says, we've been stationed here to watch the boulder. And Shock would say, we do have laborers, but as to what Aleka said, if they go down there and dig, they might be attacked. Because, I mean, you remember you have like 6 laborers in the camp carrying your stuff.
Sorry, I am not used to us having people to do things.
Yeah, if you look at...
Oh,
and actually, really quick, because you'll probably need access to this anyway. If you go to the Discord, Barry/Cameron, in the main chat, there's a pin button, and one of the pins is the Google Sheet for the group, the spreadsheet. So you want to click on that to gain access. And then you could basically see... I use that because it's a lot easier to track information versus Roll20.
Oh, light mode. Sorry.
Yeah, I think you can change that in Google Sheets. I don't know how. So yeah, you have, if you look at the camp tab, you would have 5 laborers and 7 guards. So the 5 laborers, I think you need to buy pickaxes for your camp because doesn't look like you have any. But if you just bought some pickaxes, they could dig.
I thought it was someone specifically who had them.
Oh, I don't know. If someone in the group has
There'd be
pickaxes,
one
you could give them to them as well.
Yeah, didn't Juan have all our stuff on him?
I don't know.
Yeah,
One's in the
one
background
does.
right now. Is he carrying all the pickaxes? That would be a lot of weight.
Carrying a bag of holding.
Oh, well, if
I
it's
do-
in the party treasury, then yeah, you could take it from there. Just not from his
Miner's
personal
pick. There's
inventory.
only one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, so if you buy your camp tools, like in situations like this, they could dig or, use pickaxes for you. The hobgoblin would say, "We do have some pickaxes if you wish to speak to the quartermaster."
Well, then I'll go speak to him and get them for ourselves.
All right, so you could say you just can buy them at book price. The quartermaster would give you normal prices for them.
Before we kind of go down the literal and potential, the figurative and potential literal rabbit hole of digging, do we want to like maybe, since we can't get there ourselves, go and try and get Jimmy back, and then see if one of the other deep people could
Help us get that way.
could stone through for us?
Well, the
That's
problem
a good idea.
the
Yeah,
problem with that is if we go down there and they don't want us messing with the door, and Nick is over there, then we have no way of rescuing him without making them enemies.
Well, I from what Aleka says, if we get people down there and start digging, we're gonna make them enemies.
Sounds like either way we might have a problem.
So, Toby, this sounds like an opportunity for you to talk our way out of this problem.
So you would notice, Barry, that Aleka might seem a little nervous when you mention you might go talk to the druids, though she doesn't say anything.
Okay. I'll just straight up ask Aleka, like, Aleka, we really, I think, want to try and find this guy. Is there a way you would recommend us do it? Should we try to talk to the deep people, like, and just not tell them about you and keep your presence a secret? Or
She says, "Well, if you can, I would love you to keep my presence a secret from them. I don't want them to know especially that I haven't escaped yet and I'm still up here. Our leader might try something rash to try to get me back. As for what I can recommend to save your person, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Other than having our people do it, which would be difficult to convince them to help you."
well, that was my one almost good idea for the day. So
Lou, real quick, can I try to talk the quartermaster into giving me a deal? Because it says they're 2 gold apiece. Trying to get them all for 1 gold apiece.
Is that too expensive? Sure, give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a lot of picks. He'll sell them for gold. That's fine.
Awesome. All right.
Get shovels too.
Oh.
Picks and shovels.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that. Okay.
He will not sell the shovels for half price.
Fine.
Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you. It'll be a 4.
Yep.
And then 5 shovels.
Nope,
Okay.
4 shovels because we had 1 shovel that's on the list just before that one.
Okay. All right. So yeah, 4 picks, 4 shovels.
All right, go ahead and add them to your camp. Yeah, so what does the group want to do? You have several different options of how you want to approach this.
Barry had a good idea. I like Barry's idea.
I'm going to talk to
waiting. But yeah, I'm up to listening. I also don't mind waiting at the cave to be attacked and to defend ourselves and use that as a way to converse.
I mean, I'm for going down there if everybody else wants to talk to the druids.
we could do a little bit of recon too. What I'm not so good at the talking part, I am real good at the sneaking part.
How many language do you know?
Just the 3.
Okay.
Common, Gnomish, Dwarvish.
Miss, what kind of languages would we most likely be hearing down there?
So, well, my people are mostly elves, dwarves, and humans. Mostly dwarves, actually, but some
Excellent.
elves and humans, myself included.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
And she nods.
Oh, it probably won't totally come up all the time, but like I can talk to people inside their heads, and we don't need to share a language.
Oslin, have you prepared your armor?
I have not changed into the infiltrator. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Go ahead, Nate. I interrupted.
No,
So at least
just that that ability comes up a lot. Yeah. So
maybe Barry, you move ahead.
Sure.
But what do you guys think? Oslin and Toby, do we dig or
To-
do we? Yeah.
totally because if we're going to go back in, we should always stick together. That's how we got in this situation. We shouldn't move ahead.
Cool. Oslin, are you okay with going down to first? Or would it be better to start a fight and losing these druids before we converse with him?
I lost you after, or would it be better?
Or would it be better to start digging and create a fight to weaken these druids?
Fighting. I'd prefer to have conversation before fighting. So
Cool. And maybe let Barry be ahead of us and find the route.
Yeah. I have to agree with Oswin. I'd prefer to talk than to fight.
Cool. Then it sounds like we're going down. And Aleka, you should stay with our camp.
She says, "Yeah, no, I'm fine staying here."
We're here to protect you and figure out more.
and we don't know that you're here. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
We
Thank you.
certainly don't. But I talked a little bit about I can make a link with someone. If it would be all right with you, could we make a link with you? So if there's anything they say that sounds kind of sus, I can just ask you.
He's trying to link up. Send him your digits.
Yeah, let me slide into those DMs, girl.
Yeah, I mean, I could try. I'm not the best at talking either, but
Wait, so you won't you don't have to talk to them. I would just ask you a question in your head, and then you would tell me, and nobody else would hear it but you and me.
all right, yeah. If you can do that, I'd love to help.
Sure.
All right, so you establish a psychic link with her.
Yep. Let me.
I think that costs a point.
The first time in each. Oops, that's. I think I'm linking it into the chat right now. Nope, that's the last thing I did. JKLOL. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
Psychic Whispers. The first time I use it every day, it's free. The roll is going to be how many people I can use it with.
Oh, right. You roll the dice, and yeah.
That's the armor I just set up.
Wah, wah. All right.
Hey,
so
that
I
works
guess
great.
it's just
I'll
one
just talk to
person.
Aleka then.
Yep.
And for 1 hour. All right. So you didn't do as well on that connection as you would have liked, but you are now connected to her mind.
Yeah, and I'll be like, so yeah, I've got an hour. Let me hold on. Let me think. 1 second.
And you're pretty sure going down there will keep you within 1 mile of her.
I get this for free. I'm just gonna go ahead and re-roll that to get more than 1 hour, if that's all.
How are you re-rolling?
I'm just gonna spend it. That roll was for free technically, so I'm just gonna.
Oh, you're just gonna redo it? Okay, sure.
Because I literally can't roll worse than.
Yeah, he's only spent one dice today on the other thing, so this is just giving him access to another die.
Yep.
That's
eye.
way better.
So you
Okay,
redo
yeah,
it.
so I'll link up with her, and then while we're at it, is there one of you guys that wants to have
Oswin.
some berry in their head? I can
Okay,
take
White.
two more
I
people.
think Toadleaf would be, well, I guess Toadleaf and Wand would be the other two.
Cool.
So
Yeah, so
Toadleaf, Juan, what's her name? Lekka, and who's the fourth?
Oswin.
Oswin. All right, so you link with the four of them, and that should last 4 hours.
4 hours. And I'll just do like a test to each person inside your head.
Yeah, you can all hear her. Well, I think they can hear you. They can't hear
They
each other.
can. Yep, correct. But it's two-way between each of us.
So you can do telephone if you want them to talk to each other.
Yeah, he's the operator.
Yeah. All right, so that's all set up.
Aleka?
Yeah.
Aleka, since you're human, what did you do for lighting down there?
I am able to see in the dark. It's something that is granted by the necrotic energies.
Interesting. So
She says,
reason
I
why I ask
also
is
I can also see by vibrations, same as the boule.
interesting. That sounds.
That's hot. What?
That is
most
awesome.
most of my people can.
So, why I was asking is if we bring light, we're going to be obvious targets, since there's probably a lot less light down there, correct?
She nods. She says, well, my people have known each time you've traveled through. We just haven't revealed ourselves yet.
Okay.
That's how I knew of your people, or I knew of you going down there before.
And where's a good location we can politely get their attention so it's not like we're intruding?
Well, if you try to clear the cave-in, that will certainly get their attention.
Yeah, but
I'm
that's
not
going to
sure. I'm not sure how you could communicate. I mean, you could just speak, I suppose. One of our scouts would probably hear you, but I don't know if that would cause them to actually talk back. It would depend on what our elder decided, if he wanted them to communicate.
Yes.
Very. I'm starting to lean towards starting to clear out this ruin to initiate communication. Are you comfortable in a fight?
Honestly, I usually prefer fighting the talking, but I figure it might be worth going in and just like maybe spend 10-20 minutes just knocking on the wall and yelling.
So, if we're thinking we're going to go into a fight because we're doing this, I'm not changing to the infiltrator because I'd rather have a shield wall.
Yeah.
I'll stop this transformation of my armor.
All right.
Cool. You okay with that?
It'll take me a couple minutes.
Let's start a fight.
So Aleka,
Start digging.
she would say, well, could you please at least try to call out to them and tell them that you wish to speak? If you invoke the name of the clan, maybe they'll listen.
I was about to ask what should we say to get Belivor's attention? Just like say his mom was a terrible person or something.
Why are you trying to instigate a fight?
Well, not necessarily a fight, but like someone would respond to that for sure.
She says, if you invoke the Twilight Deep and say Balivor, he might respond, since you know. He would be curious as to, I assume, how you know his name. I wouldn't suggest insults.
How do we know his name without your information?
She shrugs. She says, I'm not sure.
I'm psychic.
That sounds good.
All right, so are you heading back down?
Yes.
All right.
Let's do it.
So the hobgoblins will once again roll aside the boulder. Looks like, Barry, you need to, if you refreshed, you might need to set your portrait to the, character again. Because it sets it back by default, unfortunately.
Thank you for telling me. Bam.
All right, so you go back to the caves below. You don't have to pull your figures on because we can theater of the mind this somewhat. Where do you want to travel to? I'll let you know if you encounter anything.
The cave in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all the way through.
Yes.
Are you bringing your camp down with you to dig?
Yes.
Okay, so you do have...
What are we doing with Aleka?
I assume
Letting her
she's...
stay up there.
Yeah, I assume she's
Cool.
staying.
Perfect.
And I assume,
Great.
well, are you bringing all your people down or just your miners?
I think miners and guards.
Okay, so
Cool.
just your...
Perfect.
Not all the
kinda your-
guards.
your,
Just enough to protect the miners.
Okay. Well, if they're a bunch of boulets, they're probably not going to do much good, but we'll see how this goes.
More blood.
So you travel back to the cave-in area. All right, so you get there, no issue, nothing attacked you yet. What do you want to do?
All right,
What-
everybody, get to
what-
start the digging.
What's his name again?
Before we start digging, I'm just gonna try and yell at the walls. In the name of the Twilight Deep, Balavor, please respond.
I don't
All
think
right.
they're. I don't
Will you
think they're.
just
So at this point, I will need where you all are standing.
Oh
Might
no.
be relevant. Here, I'll just pull you on, then you can put yourselves where you want to be.
So I imagine that this hole is the cave-in right here.
Yeah, this is the cave-in, and this is the drop down where you guys were below.
I will literally be like knocking on the rock cave-in like it's a door.
And invoking Balavor.
Yeah, hello.
All right, so everyone's kind of looking around nervously as you do this. A moment later.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do my thing. Can I get light real quick?
Yeah. Hang on a sec.
Ooh,
I can see perfectly fine. I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
my favorite spell in the whole world.
Well, fair not to see in the dark.
Also, that's the Shadow Blade. That's not Fly, if that's what you were going for.
Oh, I didn't even notice. My bad.
Yeah, the Fly one's kind of close to the top.
There it is.
Yeah, you got it. So, and mark yourself for light.
All right.
Right. Okay, so I'll give you some light. Anyone else need light?
No.
Okay. Oh.
Hopefully I'm not blinded. That would suck. Crappy way to start combat.
Alright, so you, as you say that, you start to feel tremors around you. And a moment later... Sorry, just trying to give him his light before I do this.
Yeah, and while as soon as we figure out the tremors, I'm telling all the guards and miners to get as into a more harder rocky area if possible, like against the walls or whatnot.
Alright, so yeah, they back up nervously, like trying to get out of the way. And suddenly, several figures seemingly step right through the wall as a large creature bursts through the ground.
Oh yeah! Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So the figure standing next to you now is a dwarf, actually. Another one on this side is a turtle. The dwarf
I would like to. Sorry, as you're describing them to me in real life, I'd like to describe them to Aleka in my brain to see if she can just say what are these guys' names.
So she would recognize Balavor, She says she'd probably give you the others' names as well. She would say that the two most skilled are probably Balavor and Celsus, the one back here. And Balavor, as he kind of steps through the wall, appearing with the rest, sees that you're all kind of on edge and says, before you draw your weapons, I wish to speak to you.
Parlay is good.
I assume you invoked my name because this is what you want as well.
Parlay, definitely.
Yeah, that would be great.
You assume correctly.
Let me give you this picture. He would say, my people saw you leaving with
Aleka?
yeah, with our Aleka. Is she all right?
I'll immediately broadcast. They know you left with us.
Damn it.
Yes, to my knowledge, she is. We have not caused her harm. She has to go towards the surface.
Impulsive girl. He says, has she left yet?
We're down here. I can't say.
Give
And
me,
if you want, I can roll the
yeah, give me a deception. He looks kind of.
I'll say, yeah. You know, I'm
wise.
not sure. It's been a minute, right? For my version of advantage.
You can give deception as well.
Hell yeah.
He says, look, you probably wish to help her, and she is a kind girl, but she is in danger on the surface. Perhaps I can persuade you to bring her back. Maybe there's something you need that I can give you.
Have you met Nick and Jimmy?
Metal Man, and I describe both Jimmy and Nick to him while we're standing here.
He says, I'm familiar with your Warforged, the one that fell down the hole. He actually escaped us after we took him for repairs. As for the other, I don't know what happened to him. We were following him, but then he vanished from our sights.
There's a chance that he, or if the traps went off, might be on the other side of this rock, and you guys can do that. Can you just skedaddle over there and check for us real quick?
Give me a persuasion.
Oh, yeah. Do.
Oh. So he would say, well, again, if I am to do this for you, perhaps you could bring Aleka back to speak with me. He says, I assume you all are some form of mercenary. I know that often you people take gold or favors or any sort of payment for your work.
Well,
He says, if you bring her back, I can go look for your friend near the laboratory.
Is all you want to do is actually just to speak with her, not to force her to go back?
He pauses a moment.
Yeah, that pause, no.
Says, I do wish to speak to her, yes. And I'll say, yeah, Oswin and Barry. You think he wishes to do more than speak if she comes?
That's the feeling I will tell Aleka in my head, hey, he seems to want you back.
I'm not coming back.
Yeah, he seems to be relatively violent about it. So I think you should probably, if you can sneak away, start running.
And while he's having that private conversation, hey, Beans, should we get Orcard down here since there's a problem between them and them? And have them hash it out?
Is there a message we could carry to the hobgoblins above?
So you're saying this out loud?
Oh, yeah.
He says, "We will not suffer any more of the soldiers down here. If their people come down, there will be blood."
But if they can come to this point where we're having a discussion, the leadership.
Can we take you to them?
He says,
Your leadership.
why do I need to speak to them? I says, I'm speaking to you. I assume you're not part of their group.
Correct.
We
But
are not, yeah.
from what she said is you guys had things marked, but you didn't mark it in a manner that non-druids would pay attention to or see. So therefore, this issue you have with the tide is miscommunication. So if we can get you guys talking and figure out where the territories and zones to, we don't have to have more dead.
I'll say Beans and Oswin, give me persuasion checks. He already seems a little annoyed because you didn't say you'd bring her back. Also, I'm getting some background noise.
Sorry.
Oh.
Woohoo! My -1 kicks ass.
So, yeah, he calms down a little. He says, well, I'm discussing this with you because you've asked me to go look for your friend. Why would I need to speak to Orcard? His people are not welcome down here. I thought I made that clear when I killed several of them.
No, they're hard-headed just like you.
Pretty dumb group.
No,
but
don't call them dumb, just hard-headed.
That's probably true. They find, but
he says these are our cave systems. Why do they even want to come down here? I mean, we're buried under an abandoned mine. I wouldn't think I'd need markers. Like, we're days from civilization. What are these people doing here? He says, kind of frustrated.
What is this necrotic energy doing here? It seems some historian.
How do you know about that? He says, suddenly getting annoyed. Who are you?
We see it. We see it pouring out. We've seen it pouring out.
Give me a
It seems kind of familiar to like an item we have, so that's why we're trying to figure it out and get rid of it.
And it's written in the history books. As I pull out a textbook from my bag, there are members of the Truvian Empire who are interested in this necrotic energy.
Beans and Toadleaf. Persuasion checks.
Come on, Toadleaf.
Yeah, I'll give you deception because you don't actually have a book on this. So you would say, you are correct. These are sacred grounds. The energies you speak of are dangerous. I have no idea why a soldier would be interested in such ruins, but it shouldn't be disturbed, he says. And unless he has a really good reason to come onto our lands, like he and his people would be in grave danger down here.
The simplest answer I can give you without him being here to talk for himself is most of the races I've seen within that band are more comfortable underground than they are out in open sky. I don't know if that's their answer, but that's
so.
As a military person, this is a very defensible place for them.
Are you doing a deception thing right now?
No, actually, I'm trying to answer as well as possible because most of Orcard's people are orcs, right?
I will remind you, Orcard doesn't care about this place. He only initially cared because his people disappeared down here, and he wanted you to figure out why. At this point, he said, well, just don't go down there anymore. So this is all like you guys wanting to explore and find Jimmy and, what's his name? Nick. I mean, unless you're trying, that's why I said if you're doing a deception thing, that's fine. But Orcard's people, like, he's not here to come down here. He's just up. I mean,
okay. I thought I thought Orcard was wanting to stay above the mines but stay inside the caverns. That's where my mind was going.
Yeah,
with
so
this.
he does want to keep the mines as his base, but coming down here is like what caused this problem.
And I thought
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Big Pants here, brain farting, his name starts with a B. I thought he was having an issue with Orcard underneath the mountain.
Well,
Period.
he doesn't like him being here, but he realizes that the ground above is not as pliable. So sending his boule, well, give me
So
give me an insight check actually. See if you know
Okay.
anything about that. Yeah, so you get the feeling that he doesn't want Orcard here, but he's not going to attack him in the cave above because it would be harder for
Okay.
him to hit him. Whereas like the ground down here is soft and easy to dig through. That would be your
Pliable.
guess. Yeah, more pliable.
okay.
So that's why he's at such a home field advantage down here. Which is why his men got killed so quickly when they came in. The
I also hope you
tremors.
understand that we are simply looking for our companion Nick, who was a teacher of mine, and I'm not sure what caused him to go where he went.
And Jimmy, who's
And Jimmy, who, yeah, he seems to have fallen down a hole. He's a mechanical beast.
Well, as I said,
hope he is okay.
I don't know exactly where Jimmy is, though we could possibly find him should I put my people to the task. Though you know already what I wish from you. He says, if you don't want to drag her down here, maybe you could convince her to come and speak with me, or convince her to stay even. I mean, she would be in danger in that world anyway. She doesn't know what the Empire is like, or what the governments are like, or how they restrict magics there. I mean, she would be in grave danger. I just want to keep her safe.
why aren't anybody in your group informed?
This is because we've lived all our lives in the tunnels. This is our grove, our home. He says, you know my conditions. If you can bring her here and convince her to, well, if you can bring her here, I'll take that. But obviously, convincing her to stay on her own accord would be preferable. And I can find your friend in, yeah.
So
Can I
Toad Leaf
insight
goes.
check about whether or not he actually just wants to keep her safe?
Yeah. Give me. Actually, anyone can roll insights on this. If anyone else wants to roll.
Oh, but I have a bias against him because his tone sounds like someone who's controlling. Oh, look at my insight.
Yeah.
23.
Totally. Whew.
All right. Anyone else making the check?
No.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's
Beans is distracted.
being distracted. All right. So you would get the feeling, you think he's definitely sincere, wanting to like. Well, what was the question? What were you asking me? Like, is he sincere, right?
Keep
Yeah.
her safe. Yeah.
Yeah, you think he's being sincere. In fact, you might even feel like maybe there's almost a family relationship going on here. Like maybe he is closer to her than just her what's it called? Her
Mother.
her leader.
Oh, gotcha.
Like the level of worry he has.
Why have you not trained your people? Sorry, my question is coming as a military person. Why have you not trained your people about potential problems going above ground?
Because we had no need to go above ground.
But that doesn't stop curiosity.
This is yes, it's true. I probably should have done better to sate her curiosities about the surface, but it is what it is. I don't want her going.
So she seems to want to go you don't want her to go, so there's that problem.
He says, and
How could we resolve that where you both get what you want? Do you have a champion to go along with her to protect her above ground?
give me a persuasion.
Damn.
He says, look, you all are mercenaries. You wish something from me. I wish something from you. Why are we making this more complicated?
So totally for
do
that.
you actually care about her?
I care about people's rights. I've been through prisons before. I'm not saying that you're imprisoning her. I'm just saying that that's created my bias. And no, I'm not doing deception on that one.
It's entirely an unfair trade here. We're asking for a little bit of information, and you're asking for something else. It's imbalanced. We want more.
Well, what more do you want for me bringing her back? And sorry, Toadleaf, for you saying something?
He was just gonna ask this. He would say, "What if we just, what if we just keep digging here? What would you do?"
He says, well, if you dig through this defense and approach the labs, I will consider you a threat to our sanctum, he says, and you do not want to fight our full forces. It would be bad, especially on our home terrain. He says, I only brought a fraction of my people with me.
We heard there's something about a prison south? Or prison down here as well?
He says, you said you read about it, right?
Yes.
Well, are you asking me what it is? I thought you knew.
I am.
Details.
Can we? Well, I'm not asking you what it is. If the labs are off.
He says, certainly.
The prison.
I can tell you about the prison and the labs and anything else you want to know. As I said, just bring Aleka back. What else do you want?
What you're trying to get us to do is actually called the kidnapping. It is not a good thing.
This is not kidnapping her. This is her home.
But if she wants to go and we bring her back here, that is bad. That is not good for us.
Give me a persuasion.
Sure.
Maybe
26.
So he pauses a moment. Maybe you're right. She has tried this before. He just kind of sits there thinking.
Totally would then say, if she travels with us, we can ensure her safety.
Give me a persuasion at disadvantage. I would suggest inspiration. Oh, never mind.
Oh wait, hold up. I got the favorite of RSL I can do, I think.
Okay, 2d4.
Oh, that's an attack. Damn it. Oh wait, saving throw? Oh.
If saving throw or miss with an attack, yeah. So that wouldn't apply here.
I'm out of sorcery. That's all I got.
Anyone else gonna say anything?
I don't have enough to say on it, unfortunately.
Just in the chat, I've asked in Toadleaf and Awesome Heads, hey, are we gonna throw down? Because if I throw first, it hurts.
Yeah, I don't know if I can.
Well,
I think I have a story point. I don't know if I want to use it though.
It's up to you. Well, do you want to let this go through? 13? It's not a terrible roll.
I'll do it. I'll use my story point.
All right, so re-roll.
Okay. All right.
And you can use your inspiration on this as well if you want to get rid of the disadvantage.
I don't have one, but I'll do another persuasion.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Wow. Wow, 26 because you were...
Yeah. Woo! Okay.
He says, I know nothing about any of you. He says, but you're willing to take her with you and you say you can protect her?
Very much so. I'm a very powerful magic caster.
Says, yes, I know all about the Feywild and what you are.
And we also have an ogre named Gurglow who would love to protect her. I'm
Give me
teaching him.
a persuasion at disadvantage now. You gotta stop telling people about that ogre.
I know, right? It's not.
No, you're still rolling well.
Yeah.
So he kind of arches an eyebrow at that and says, I suppose it's somewhat impressive that you've tamed an ogre.
I'm teaching him magic.
If Aleka will come speak to me, you have my word I won't force her to go back below with us, but I do wish to speak with her.
Insight.
Wait, do we have your word that no one here will force her to go down below
He nods.
against your word?
Go ahead, you can make an insight check. Yeah, you think he's being honest. He says, perhaps what you say has some wisdom, that maybe if she's going to go up, and I'd rather she go with people who would know how to help her, and you all seem like you want to help her. For whatever reason, you're not like any mercenaries I've met before.
I'm not really a mercenary. I'm just a lost fairy.
We're
Should
more
we not want to help
troubleshooters.
her?
You're more what?
We're more troubleshooters than
Troubleshooters?
we get paid, yes, but we focus more on resolving problems.
Here
says,
at the
well,
Magical Miscreants, we solve problems for you.
All right. If you can bring her down here to speak with me, as I said, I promise I will not force her to go back down. I just wish to speak with her before she leaves.
Crew, should we send our miners up to ask her to come on down?
I can just.
No, I'm intentionally ignoring your abilities, Barry.
Gotcha.
Overtly.
I would honestly just prefer continually digging through this to try to find Nick.
Well, let us try to do this in the most peaceful manner. Let's have her come down. I believe he's not lying to us.
All right.
I'll ask her psychically. Just be like, hey,
Oh
this
my
is
God.
what's going on. Are you okay meeting with him?
She says, I don't know. Do you think he's telling the truth? I mean,
I think so. And also, like, I mean, there aren't a ton of them. So if you come now, like, you can probably bamf out.
give me a persuasion at advantage, DC 10.
Ooh, here we go. Come on, roll good.
2 nat 1s, baby.
You're not the boss of me.
Oh my god.
So she says,
I will. Oh,
you got something?
Yeah. You have something?
yeah, I've got another psychic dice, but I have to roll
Oh.
real high on it. No, I just need a 2.
You need a 2.
Yeah, I'll spend it. That seems.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
If I was a D8. Cool.
All
There you
right,
go.
15. All right. Well, if you think he's telling the truth, you guys will back me up if he tries anything.
Literally 1000%. I don't know why, but I just kind of want to stab him in the face.
Damn
You're tired of this guy.
it, I wish I could hear that.
All right. So why don't we do a... Oh, wow. It's already 8 almost. Why don't we do a break? Because we've been playing a bit, and I have not broke at all. So we
Yes.
do 10 minutes for people to stretch and bathroom and everything, and yeah, then we'll continue. Wow, that session like flew by. I thought we were still like halfway.
It's been a lot of RP, which I'm cool
Yeah.
with, but
Indeed.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of
Woo!
fighting lately. All right. Yeah, 10 minutes.
See you in 10.
I'll go grab a water. Be right back.
Who's messaging me on Twitch? Probably someone from the community. You there, Cameron?
Sure am.
How you liking the game?
This is great.
All right. And usually there's more of a combination of RP and combat. Although lately we've been having a lot of combat. This is the first like heavy RP we've had in a bit.
Well, this is great because I've had a lot of heavy combat recently too. So this is a fun change of pace, especially as this is kind of my first time playing a character with terrible charisma. So it's fun to.
It's funny. You're like talking a lot, and it's like -1, -1. Actually, some good rolls though. So yeah, I like to kind of do a combination of good arguments and rolling. So if you make good arguments, it lowers the DC of the check quite a bit.
How am I doing, boss?
I think you're doing fine.
Cool. Sweet.
Yeah, you're more, definitely more.
I'm totally enjoying it. Yeah.
Most of our people are more quiet, so it's nice to have another outgoing person for like RP stuff.
Totally agree.
I talk a lot in real life, so.
Yeah, I think it's good to have people like that in the group sometimes. Because yeah, most of the group, other than probably Nate, is fairly quiet.
Yeah. And,
usually.
Whenever you meet Juan talks quite a bit.
That's true. I guess Juan talks a lot. Where is Juan? I thought he was only going to be an hour late.
You know, he got distracted at his mom's.
Your mom's
Or
house.
sometimes, no, his mom's house.
His mom's house.
Yeah.
I think the real issue is that he probably he's like in his head he's like, okay, I'm gonna be 1d4 hours late.
Oh yeah, he rolled that 4.
I try to keep Code Leaf out of like politics, but this game I felt like I had to get him of the politics of it all.
Yeah, well, you have all the charisma. You're like
I know
well,
that's
I guess
because Juan's not here. Normally I can just let him work.
Usually Juan would be this would have been a great Juan episode. It's too bad he missed it.
Instead, I'm doing like Toad Leaf Story Hour.
This
over
is
here
like
and,
literally why you bring a bard on an adventure. Is like this situation.
well, he's got like a +10. The dude can't fail.
Oh, he can fail if
And
he
when is
makes
it that
bad
he
arguments,
gets-
but
Because I know I get reliable talent eventually. Isn't there a bard equivalent?
yeah, there's
his bard, yeah.
there's something you get that makes it so if you roll below a 10, it becomes a 10.
That's only
Yeah.
the elephant part.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it? All right.
I got 2 neat things that I like using a lot. So like Favorite of the Gods and then Magical Guidance. They're both awesome for me.
Yeah. I love bards. It's like one of my favorite classes to play.
I've never
Go
played one.
You
I've
go
never
in-
had a want to play one either.
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends on the DM. If your DM lets you, like... Because some DMs are more, I don't want to say railroady, but, like, they'll kind of know whether or not you can convince people to do things, or if it's just going to, like, happen a certain way because they want to fight.
I'm glad you let me be a fairy because I know they, with their flying, it gets annoying sometimes.
I've had no problem knocking you out of the sky.
You, yes, you specifically don't have a problem doing that.
You haven't had that extra fall damage take a level or 2 of exhaustion for you.
You
Yeah.
also limited the cave height to 10 foot, so
Yeah, well, most caves that aren't in the deep are pretty small.
just wait till we got an open area, then we'll see what you do.
I mean, then they'll probably shoot arrows at you.
I got the gloves of missile snaring. Yeah.
It's true.
Hi, I'm Earthbind. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, or some kind of magic.
Gonna throw a dragon at me.
It's true. Dragon would
Yep.
be a good counter to a flying character.
Would be.
Then you just get to 1v1.
Then again, dragon's a good counter to pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean, That's how you solve a lot of problems. Throw a dragon at it.
Or create a lot of problems.
You could. Or summon, a giant demon that almost destroys Chaur. They create a lot of problems.
It's true.
Just in my experience.
You gloating right now?
No, never.
Yeah.
It only happened once, right?
You're gonna make Matt angry if you keep talking about that.
Oh.
Being suddenly kills totally.
No.
Magic missile.
Totally, he is a good boy.
One of Nate's former characters summoned a demon that almost destroyed Chaur.
Nice.
He was bad.
That was in a different story, though. That wasn't in this game.
He was a bad man.
Was it literally like summon greater demon or?
Yeah.
No, he's
summoned. What was it? A Baylor?
Yeah, he used his soul to summon a Baylor.
Dang.
Yeah.
And I think it almost broke free, but someone rolled like just what they needed to banish it.
We needed a 17, 18, 19, or 20 to banish it.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Someone did like a banishment scroll and they managed to land it.
Juan's character in another game.
Yeah.
And Mikey. Oh.
Make sure we all make fun of Mikey and his mom when he comes back next week.
Mikey's mom.
Your mom's house.
Hey, tell her to set a plate for me next time.
Hang on.
Oh.
All right.
That was
there we
good.
go.
That was a good one.
I DJ on weekends. Not DMing. Oh, it is the weekend. Never mind.
You DJ on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wait, no, I think we have a game Wednesday.
I do. I have a game every day but Friday. And I have 2 games on Tuesday. I'm looking to start a second game on Thursday, too.
I gotta check my new off days. I'm gonna see. Maybe I'll pick one up.
Yeah, I do have a couple of spots left. I don't know. I might have to just start advertising. I've been putting it off.
I was looking into Rat's game because I haven't done the Drakenheim stuff yet.
Yeah,
so
I know.
That to me was interesting.
I know that's the module, right?
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons, Drakenheim that's going through the city, basically.
Yeah, that is a cool one.
I don't think I've ever done that one.
I'd love to one day do some of the book stuff. That'd be fun.
You mean the modules?
Yeah, I've never done any.
Some of them are good. Some of them are like, damn, the DM has to do a lot of work to make this actually function.
Yeah.
It surprises me on how many. That's all I was going to say.
Oh.
I liked Strahd. I liked the giant one was kind of fun. What was the big dungeon one?
I miss my vampire character a lot.
Mad Mage or Annihilation? Tomb of
Mad
Annihilation.
Mage. Yeah. I didn't like Mad Mage as much as some other people. I feel like there's too many dungeons. I like dungeons okay in limited amounts.
If Toadleaf ever perishes and I'm still in the game, I think I'd like to play my vampire again. That was fun.
Damphir or a vampire?
I mean,
Vampire.
he flavored. Yeah, he was flavored as a vampire.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's a spot in that game if you want to retake it.
I might. Like I said, I got to look at my. I start my new job tomorrow, so I'll look at my schedule and see.
When's that game?
It's Wednesday.
Time frame.
It's evening. It's
Yeah.
it's a different storyline too. It's not Chaur. It's the Whispers of the Deep. It takes place in the basically the Underdark 500 years ago during the Cataclysm.
Nice. I didn't see that one.
It's a fun group as well.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Grey Wanderers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wanderers.
Oh, that's why I didn't. Is because level 11. That's why I didn't try it. Because I'm having trouble with jumping into a character being at higher levels and going, okay, wait, where's my personality? Where am I coming from? And all that. I can.
Got to fill out the.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
I don't. That's a tough one.
I mean,
don't really
the
have-
level 8s have been pushing it the highest for me, jumping into something like that. Sorry, I'm babbling.
No. I mean, you bring up a good point. When
I feel you, and I'm jumping in at level 5. I can't imagine.
Well, generally at that level, your character is fairly established in the world as kind of a badass.
yeah,
Like, that's when you're
Yeah.
Fast and Furious X. You're like Vin Diesel in the later movies. You could just do ridiculous shit. Not that I
And-
watch Fast and Furious, but I'm just making a
And
comparison.
both Lou and Rat, when it's 8 and above, they go, okay, and then there's X amount of equipment that you have, and X amount. So they make it so you're set up. It's just, for me, it's the personality of the character. That's the hard part for me. Not the game mechanics, because both Rat and Raven here set it up nice for the mechanics.
What's difficult about the personality?
Just figuring out who they are for me. I just, it's who I am. It gets in my head.
I don't know. The creativity flows through me. I don't know what the hell it is.
It's like the Force.
Yeah,
PRP, hopping right
Alright,
into
is
the
everyone
random
back?
storyline. Yeah.
Alright, so you said we were bringing Aleka down here, right?
yeah.
Alright, so he would show up a little while later. Walking into the cave, Balavor would smile and say, Aleka, I apologize that things had gotten so bad between us. Can I speak to you in private? I promise you will be allowed to leave here. She hesitates a moment.
I'll say in her head, hey, it's okay. You can always talk to us talk to me if it goes south too.
Sure. Give me a persuasion with advantage again. DC 10. Okay.
No,
She'll just kind of nervously nod and say, of course, Balavor. Why don't we go below and I'll speak to you in the caves.
Come with you, just to make sure we're all good.
He says, do you have a way of passing through the stone?
We could throw him really hard at the stone and see if he goes through it.
we got all these
Sorry.
laborers with shovels.
We could dig our way through. It'll just
You
take
know?
a few hours.
Why not have it here?
Yeah, I was going to say, you can just go right over there where the golem was and those bodies are, so you could be seen as being open and honest like you're stating that you want to be.
He says,
And she has the opportunity of saying yes or no to you privately.
give me a persuasion. You and I'll say Toad leave.
Pretty please.
I didn't suck. I might not pass, but it still didn't suck. That throws me.
He says, all right, very well, we'll speak over there then. And he kind of goes over to the eastern area. Sorry, western area.
Yeah, because they don't want none of angry toad leaf.
And,
Angry toad leaf scared.
and I'm going to stand so I can see them, but not eavesdrop. I ain't dropping no eaves.
So you probably wouldn't see them in the dark unless you got within, 60 feet. They're pretty far away.
Yeah, no. I just put right here just so I could put the token. So
I'm gonna bother this lady. She looks interesting. So that's what I'm doing.
I can see him barely in my reach, so that should be good enough. Because I don't want to hear them.
All right. So they are talking.
I'll wait about 3 minutes and then just be like, hey, is everything okay?
What are you saying to this lady here, who is kind of just standing there quietly?
I go through the routine. I say,
Hi, my name is Totally. It is very nice to meet you.
I have no wish to speak to you, Faye. She crosses
Well, then
her arms rudely.
he says,
Well, then I would say you're missing out on a pretty cool conversation.
She doesn't say anything.
and he just starts to ramble on about the Feywild and about the weave and magic and stuff.
The turtle kind of laughs and she gives him a very dirty look. So after a few minutes, he would kind of walk back over with her. And I'll say she just, responds to you. If you psychically talk to her, she says, it's fine, thank you. And he'll give her kind of like a smile and pat her on the shoulder. And she would seem a little bit, to those of you who are standing there, the two of you, she would seem a little unsure, almost as if she's kind of questioning things a bit. But yeah, he just kind of walks forward and says to Beans, he says, young gnome, please take good care of Aleka. I want your guarantee that you will protect her, you and your group. He kind of looks to Oswin as well.
Absolutely. We hope to set her up right. We'll take good care of her.
She she seems kind of quiet, almost like well, actually your insight's terrible, so never mind. She seems a little quiet. And he nods and says, well, as per my promise, I will tell you that your friend, the one who went through the cave-in, has died. If you wish his body and his equipment, I can give it back to you, but he fell into the trance by the door, and the magics took his life force. It happened to one of my druids long ago as well. I'm sorry. And I will send my people to look for the Warforged in our tunnels.
What have you of these Iron Tide? You have been guardians of this area for a long time. The Iron Tide were brought here not simply because this is a fortified position. They seem to have been brought here for a reason, and a historic reason. What have you of the Iron Tide?
Says, why would I know about the Iron Tide? He says
They've
these
been
are.
living in your land for quite some time.
Says, well, they've been here several weeks, maybe a month, but I've mostly avoided them. They seem like some sort of mercenary armor. Sorry, go ahead.
What would have brought them to this cave? Of all the caves, you see there are mountains surrounding.
This is
not.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm confused. Are you not allies with these soldiers? Do you not? Have they not told you why they're here? I mean, I can speculate. We have ancient
speculation. Is exactly what I'm looking for.
I see.
You are guardians of these.
He says, "Well,
of these labs as well as the other area that's guarded by dark miasma. Those areas seem quite enigmatic to. Quite important. There's nowhere else I've heard of dark miasma being around on the world of Gaia.
So there's definitely cursed places within our world, but this was all once a Therian city. These lands are filled with old ruins from when the dwarves held dominion over this land, this continent. My guess would be they came here to search those ruins for ancient magics, as many of the old Tharian ruins contain great artifacts that our peoples no longer know how to create. The rune masters replicated several of the devices from the old night weather colonies.
Uh, uh, yeah, that's quite interesting.
And
And
Barry walked over, it looked like, during this conversation.
Sorry, I was being real dumb. I thought I was there.
Oh, well, you could say you walked over while this was being said. Go ahead, Beans. Are you saying something else?
These rune masters, you said, were able to replicate the technologies of the night weather.
Some of them. There were limitations due to the immense magical power needed to power some of the old artifacts. But they even had an answer for that. He had a dark one.
The dark one?
He says, I'd rather not speak of it, though. You
Um,
might already know what I talk about, since it looks like you've looted some of this area.
We've merely gotten some of the chests in this area. That's very different than, I imagine, what lays in a laboratory or whatever the area protected by. Did you say it was a prison?
He says there are two areas that are present within these ruins. There's the prison, and there is the laboratory.
The lab, yeah.
He says, I have not sent my people into either of them, as I fear the danger that could be present there.
And as you have said, you have lost some people to the fences of the laboratory, which is just beyond the cave end, correct?
Yes, and now you have lost someone to them as well.
Apparently, that is sad. I really enjoy reading over libraries, and I imagine any lab has a library, but yeah.
He says, you seem oddly okay with the passing of your mentor.
He makes his own decisions. He is quite erratic in what he decides to do, and in the past I have known him to always come out on top. Even if you say he has passed, I'm not confident he has. He has plenty of magical abilities to make sure he doesn't die.
And Beans here doesn't really think how you or I might think too, so he might be grieving on the inside, but he definitely stands by logic. It's weird but fascinating to watch him think.
He says, well, my condolences in either case for his loss or possible loss.
Is there anything we could do to help you make sure that the Iron Tide don't come down here any further? Maybe even push the Iron Tide out of this cave and secure the cave for your grove.
He says, well, I mean, I'd prefer them not be in the mine shafts above. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, how do we push them out? You seem to have, I mean, this is your grove. You have beyond a deep understanding of the territory, the terrain, what we can use. I understand that they have numerical advantage, but we have brains, and we also have magical abilities that they don't possess.
Do you wish to attack these soldiers? Is that what you're proposing?
What I'm proposing is to find a way to push them out of this cave system.
Says, I'm sorry, I'm just very confused. I thought you were with them.
And if by preserving their, if it saves lives to push them out of here, And like
He
it seems like it would be beneficial for you to, yeah.
He says, well, I have no idea how to push an army of their size out of the mine. That's why I haven't done it yet. If you have a suggestion, I'd happily hear it. I mean, obviously, if I knew of a way to do so, I would have attacked them already. I don't like them being this close to sacred land.
Oswin, were you going to say something?
Well, it's not that we're with this group against this group. It's we want to have the least amount of body
Casualties.
count. Yeah, casualties. So if we can get, since you have issues with them down here, if we can get them to move, it's going to be better for both parties. That's, like I said, we're troubleshooters.
He nods and he says, well, if you, as I said, if you have an idea on how to move them, by all means. Unless
This is
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
He says, my if my people can help in some way, I will do so. But I don't. Yeah, if this is like a violent way, like if you're thinking of using violence to push them back, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if that's possible. I guess.
Yeah.
But if you have another way, I'm happy to help.
Well, that's good information to know that you're happy to help. It's something I will definitely think on. These desecrated rooms, the prison and the labs, is there a way that we could make them safer?
Leave them. He says, just leave them sealed. I mean, I don't think.
You say that, but is there a possibility higher powers can unseal them? And what if the next party comes through? Is there a way we could secure these?
Give me a persuasion. DC 10. He says, if someone is foolish enough to try to unseal these, my people will make short work of them. I guarantee you. They will have to fight on our terrain.
You have seen the damage that we have caused. We are a party of 6.
He nods. He says, I will admit that I underestimated you. I thought my boulets would make short work of you, but we didn't bring our full forces to bear. We thought you'd leave on your own accord, and you hadn't approached the laboratory, so we were willing to wait you out, figuring you'd get bored and just leave this place. But if you forced our hand, we would have given you the fight of your lives, trust me. He says, we have many creatures like the land shark at our disposal.
They were fun to play with. I have a weird sense of humor, don't mind me. No, this whole thing that's part of the reason, this getting them to move out was part of the reason why I wanted to have them down here for discourse, and you said you didn't want to talk to them. That's all I was going to say, but...
He says, well, why are they even here? They're digging in old ruins up above. Like I said, I'm assuming they're looking for ancient relics to sell, or, I don't know, maybe old weapons from the dwarven caches that remain.
And is that not what the labs and the prison hold?
The labs hold things that are a little more dangerous. And the prison, well, he just kind of trails off.
But again, we are a party of 6. As you've seen, there's a whole army above.
He says, well, if you can...
You've also admitted that you cannot handle them.
He says it would be difficult if they all came down. I mean, could you just convince them not to come into these areas?
No, but we can try.
He says, that's all I can ask of you. I'm not sure what else you could do.
And you're not confident that you could help convince them as well?
He says, no, I'm not a diplomat. My strength is in my magic and in my knowledge. I've never had the gift of gab, as someone put it.
They don't either. So they come from a military mindset. One or two might have persuasive mouth noises, so to speak, but not having the diplomatic mentality might actually cut a lot of problematic discourse.
So at a game, I'm not sure what you guys are trying to convince him. Like that he should go talk to them?
I was confused as well. I was like, where is this
Oh,
going?
I'm very confused.
Yeah, I'm not sure where this is.
I don't know if we really have much of a direction.
All right.
So like, what I see is he wants us to leave the Alcavian labs and the prison behind.
Yes.
And then convince the Iron Tide that they should get out of this cave, but more so just convince them not to go down here anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
Which
that
is
would be his
easy.
ideal goal.
And the Iron Tide want treasures.
The Iron Tide want to assemble the keys and head to Issyk. Treasures are secondary for them. Like, the main reason Orcard was gathering the treasures is because Blackwater betrayed him. And he was just trying to fund the trip, because now he wasn't getting paid.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And my whole thing was, we had that discussion with Orcard about Blackwater dealing with it, so they don't need to be here anymore, but trying to figure out more ways of saying, go home, have fun.
Well,
that's where my character's thought process was.
Yeah, but didn't you all say that you were going to try to work with them for the vault? Like you were trying to earn their trust or respect or something?
Our big thing was trying to earn their trust and respect so that they stop the sieges on Chaur.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
We're not too convinced, or too concerned about the vaults.
Oh, okay. That's right. You were
the sieges to stop.
Okay. So you were kind of doing this to. I see. All right. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So I mean, you may already be able to ask that of them. If you, yeah.
Cool.
All right. So what do you want to do?
I mean, personally, I'd like to go check out the the jail, but
Barry, what do you want to do?
I mean, I think
I want to buy a
we
valve.
get our mentors what's left of him, and we got our metal machine.
Collect the two bodies.
Yeah.
And then talk to Orcard.
Yeah. Now, Orcard did tell you about the labs or the vault, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Jim is apparently alive, from what they said. So.
Yeah, he said that someone betrayed, or he said that Blackwater betrayed him, and that was why he initially attacked Chaur.
And stole one of the keys.
Yeah.
We got that information as well.
Exactly. They stole one of the keys. And he said, I think, just to remind you, kind of, he said that Cithril might have one as well, because he thinks that she stole one from either, that she may have stolen one from Blackwater. So right now, yeah, you think that he has one, Blackwater has one, and Cithril has one.
Cithril has one.
The 3 keys to the vault. And just for clarification, Barry, it's not this vault, it's the another vault that's far away that they were looking to open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were... I mean, your character would know this, but I'll tell you just so you're not confused. There were apparently these 3 keys that Blackwater was seeking for his next expedition, and he hired the Iron Tide and the Blood Hand to help him retrieve them. But yeah, I guess I won't tell you too much just because your character wouldn't know about it, but just so you kind of know what everyone's talking about.
Thank you. That makes the stakes a lot clearer.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, what do you all want to do? I know we're getting close to end. Actually, wait, we are pretty much at end time.
Yeah. It sounds like we're gonna. I mean, let us go back to our camp outside of the Hobgoblin camp, and with Gurgle, I want to make sure he gets to eat his cow.
All right. Well, if you can convince your Iron Tide friends to leave, that will be appreciated.
Yes.
But good luck to you. And please take care of Aleka. Again, Aleka seems a little bit, almost like, I don't want to say shell-shocked, but she's being very quiet. And yeah, give me MVP votes. So, Whisper and roll 20?
Yes.
It's /W space DM and then whatever name you want to put.
Yeah, so at the end of each session, we do a vote for MVP, and that person gets inspiration if they didn't have it.
It used to be
Slash.
point. Used to be worth something.
What?
Used
What's wrong
to
with
be
inspiration?
I mean, inspiration is worth quite a bit.
It's not a story. It's not a story point.
No, it's not a story point.
What did you ever do with your story points?
Nothing good.
Yeah, there were too many story points. That's why I don't do that anymore. Story points should be more rare. But yeah, you got it. I got your message. Cool. So with 2 votes... Wait, am I missing someone's vote? I thought there were 5 of you. No, that's right. There were only 4 today. With 2 votes, Toadleaf, you are MVP.
Yay!
Congrats.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, well done, everyone.
Yes.
We'll
Thank you very
continue
much.
the RP and possibly some combat next week.
Yeah, and like I said, hopefully I can stick with this this time slot. I'm going to try to.
Yes. I mean, honestly, if I were you, I would quit any job that doesn't allow you to stick with this time slot.
I couldn't
Well,
agree
not
more,
worth it.
having played this
I gotta-
last session.
I gotta do what I gotta do. But I will say I am moving in 3 months, so that can change again. So,
So there's not even any point in changing it right now. Just change it in 3 months once everything settles.
no, I need to make money.
Did you say
Support
something, Barry? I missed that.
Oh, it just as a joke.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, good game, everybody. Nice to have you. Nice to have you, Barry, or Cameron.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, I know.
Looking, the Cyro is. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with him. It sounds a lot of fun.
Extreme violence.
So are you new to
We'll get
D&D,
there.
or are you just you new to Roll20?
I am new to Roll20.
Okay.
I've only played one like actual campaign. I've played Strixhaven, but I've played like I want to say 60-ish one shots,
Oh,
Shoot.
and I've watched.
That's probably more
Wow.
than half.
I've
Damn.
Has all of it
watched.
been-
I want to say like 500-600 hours of Critical Role.
oh my
All
goodness.
right, all right.
Has
Shoot.
so almost everything is D&D for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got into it like right as the pandemic was wiling down, and I was like,
Yeah.
things to watch. I just started watching Critical Role, and I was
That's
like, oh, this
yeah.
D&D looks fun. Let's do it. So
Yeah. I got into it 2021, I think. So, but I've been sticking with it for the most part, and it's been
Sticking with it, you've been loving it. You've been addicted to it. This is your cocaine.
yeah, pretty well. I mean,
I mean,
You
who
know,
doesn't love D&D? Only weirdos.
That's a valuable question. I don't
freaking
trust you
nerds.
if they
That's
don't.
who.
Nerds.
Oh, DM.
Yes.
What? I just
Player.
remembered since he wasn't part of the game. Stilton asked for Oswin to change over the enhancement of the defense from the shield to his chainmail. So that's downtime stuff that he was working on. I completely forgot just because he wasn't here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't really change much, but it's downtime
Listens
stuff
to
that
being
he
in
did
your
do.
head.
Downtime
Why he's not
stuff.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Well,
All right.
I'm not sure if he's playing past this month, unfortunately. We'll see.
Yeah.
What?
It just means my infusion goes somewhere else. I've got no problem with that.
Talking about Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It'd be like that.